Hello to you. My name is Anthony Altman, and this video is to be seen on YouTube and various other social media, including my website, which is https://www.anthonyaltman.net. This video is the first one in a series of videos I wish to do, and this one is entitled Everything is Changing. Today's date is the 16th of June 2023. My website, www.anthonyaltman.net, is my contribution to help inspire and motivate people to navigate the changes that we are experiencing at the moment, and the greater, far greater changes that are coming down the pike imminently. There is a huge, big picture to understand, and there is a small group, a small minority of the human population, maybe 20-25% of 8 billion people, who realize that there is a change going on, and this change is in many respects quite natural. It was foretold. It's supposed to be the way it is. And for the others, the other 75%, 80% of the people who are just not aware of this for whatever reason, whether they're programmed, whether their belief systems have limited their ability to comprehend the greater picture of humans being on planet Earth, in a solar system, in a galaxy, in a universe, in an omniverse, multiverse, inhabited with all forms of intelligent life forms, teeming with life, and most people don't seem to be aware of that. This change is coming on the heels of the various cycles that we are experiencing in their conclusion. They're coming to an end. And I'm talking about the long count Mayan calendar, of which there are 17, and there is one, I'm not very familiar with them, but there is the Indian yugas. We are coming to the end, or coming through, halfway through the Kali Yuga. And in scientific terms, there is a process called the precession of the equinoxes, which is nearly a 26,000-year cycle that takes our planet Earth through a period of time that seems to coincide with all the other cycles that are being given to us by various different traditions. In effect, we have arrived at possibly the lowest point on this main 26,000-year cycle of the precession of the equinoxes. It's called the Nadir. And I've written a book which is called The Heroes of Humanity, and I go into this in great detail. You might want to read that with graphs, with a graph that came out of India, which is really very helpful to understand. That we have now left the Piscean age of 2,160 years or thereabouts, and we have entered the Aquarian age of a a similar length of time. And this means that we are now experiencing the upward arc of a positive period. And how we fare, what we are able to create in order to improve the quality of life in this third dimensional reality depends on how much consciousness we embody and how much we're able to flow with creation and creation's creative intelligence. If human beings insist, the majority of them insist on continuing the way they have been doing for thousands of years, then we are ensuring ourselves to continue suffering. If and when we are able to open our minds and hearts so that we are able to perceive a far greater picture of reality and to realize the life lessons that have been presented to us in our lives here on planet Earth, and if we are able to learn these lessons and improve ourselves by developing more of our innate consciousness and thereby expanding our conscious awareness, we are in effect then able to accelerate the evolution of our consciousness so that we will be able to spontaneously live our lives in accordance with natural law and universal law spontaneously without having been told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Now, unfortunately, the people who are telling us what to do and how to do it and when to do it are really no better than the people they are wishing to direct their activities. The people that they are telling what to do are no different to the people who are actually telling us what to do. Now, this is very simple to understand because in a democracy, the majority rules. And on our planet of 8 billion people in most of the countries which are democratic, the majority are people who have not yet woken up. And they don't know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, so they want somebody to tell them. So they elect people who are emulating, reflecting the same consciousness as them. And these elected officials and leaders know not much more than the people. In fact, their own ego and their own limitations prevent them from doing their job properly. And the laws that are passed, the laws that are causing people to act in a manner that is so against their well-being and definitely not for their highest good, is all too evident. All you have to do is look at the last 3 years with the way most governments in the world conducted what appeared to be something that was not a very serious or no serious than any of the other health conditions that we have experienced on this planet for the last few hundred years. And now it is becoming evident that all that they have done was not really that good and it harmed people. That's because they did not know any better. That's because the people who elected them didn't know any better. So the people who are ignorant elect ignorant people to lead them. It is of paramount importance that each individual realizes that there is 100% potential that they have available to them. And if you care to educate, if these people care to educate themselves just a little bit more and listen to what science is telling us, we are using 5% of our 4% of our DNA, 5% of our mental potential. We see about 5% of the light spectrum, which means that there's 95% of our physical world that we do not see. So if I see something that you do not see, you will reject me. You will reject what I'm saying. You will call me all sorts of names, and you will say that I'm a conspiracy theorist because you don't see it. And you don't see it because you're using a little less of your ability to see than another person might. And this is how humanity is staggered from one place to another, from one pillar to another, falling over all the obstacles that are available there for them to fall over, hurting themselves, injuring themselves, suffering. And all that is required to do is to develop more of their innate consciousness. This is relative to the quantum unified field of all that is. It's all becoming apparent now, and it's time for people to wake up. As we develop more consciousness and we become more consciously aware, everything changes. I have written a book called The Emissaries of Consciousness, which is my attempt to explain what consciousness is. And in our world today, and it has been like this for centuries, for millennia, everybody is dealing with the problems on the level of the problem. Nobody's going beyond the problem. So if you have a problem, here, we'll fix it with this, we'll fix it with that. But nobody talks about what is the cause of the problem. And the cause of most of our problems is that we just don't know. And if you don't know where to go, and you are driving a car and you come to a fork in the road where there's 3, 4, 5 different forks, you are going to say, well, I don't know what to do. Well, let's go here and see where it goes. Well, it may take you off a cliff. It may take you to a dead end, so you have to come back and then start again. Now, if you developed your ability to use your intuition more, then maybe intuitively you would be able to choose the right path to go. And this is to do with consciousness. So this video is just my attempt to encourage everybody, no matter where you are on the path of consciousness, do your best to develop more of it. And if you don't know what to do, ask questions. Go on the internet, read my books, go to my website. It's a good beginning. There are many, 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 many people all over the world who can offer you information that will help you. All you have to do is ask questions. Have the intention to develop the potential that you have and substitute knowledge and wisdom for ignorance. We are so ignorant of what's going on. Most people don't even know who the Prime Minister of their country is, or, well, I say most, too many, or the President of their country. They don't know what's going on. They don't know their history. They don't know how we arrived here. They just don't know. And if you don't know, that is the reason why we suffer. So my advice, my suggestion, my encouragement is, please, today, make an intention, have an intention to develop more of your consciousness. In order to help you do this, I'm going to give you something that was given to me by an Indian holy person called Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, who died in the 70s. And yet, he still communicates with me and he gives me instructions or suggestions. And his suggestion which is his hallmark, is the 3-part protocol. First part is self-inquiry. If you don't know what to do, ask yourself, your higher self. There's 2 parts of you, your lower self and your higher self. Ask your higher self what to do, how to heal, how to do this, how to do that, how to increase your level of intelligence, your knowledge, your wisdom, your consciousness. Second part is to trust your higher self, surrender to your higher self. And the third part is to pay attention what transpires. This is a very good start. It works for me wonderfully well. Thank you for listening, and I send you such love and well-being. I hope you have great well-being, and I hope that you embark upon your journey of self-discovery, higher self-discovery, and we will talk again. Thank you.